Wait for people to pile in. Yeah. Good night or good morning, good evening to whoever is going to pop on. Hope y'all give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna wait to start talking about it before anyone pops on. That way, you don't miss anything. I got some heartburn going on. I tell you what. All right, I already got a thumbs up. It's the Invisible Man. 0 people in the lobby, and I got 1 thumbs up. That's about right. There we go. And they're gone. Wow. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you for showing up. Well, if I keep people in the lobby. Hello, Kenneth. Hello, Jenny. How you doing? Well, y'all missed the best part. I goofed. I didn't have my phone ready, and the signal in the kitchen sucks. But I used my homemade wine and injected it through the ham, still partially frozen, not fully frozen. And I wrapped it in paper bags and soaked it down. I'm actually doing pretty good. Hey, Pappy. How's it going tonight? As you can see, my hands are somewhat black still from dealing with the smoker. But I got it going, and it's going to smoke all night long till dinner time tomorrow. Hopefully, this turns out good in these paper bags. I really wanted to wrap it in burlap, but that stuff's hard to find nowadays. So I gotta go out there periodically and check it almost every hour to see how it's doing. Hopefully the bags don't burn. I gotta keep the bags soaked. Hey, Angel Eyes, how you doing? Man, this weather, I tell you what, it's nice all day long, and tonight the wind's blowing in. It's like it's blown in a cold front. It is something that cold out there. Luckily, with the 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts, I could keep my coals hot. I'm doing okay so far. Everything seems to be going pretty swell. I'll find out how bad I messed up tomorrow. I think I overdone my account a little bit. I think I went like $60 over what I was supposed to spend. Hopefully tomorrow I'll find out. So please cross your fingers and hope like heck that, I cut it close, but not too close. Lordy. While I left the smoker, I've already got it there, Kenneth. He keeps insisting, I need your phone number, and it's like, I don't talk on the phone. This is the most I do phone-wise. I really don't message. I don't really talk on the phone. My phone is just like, it's a crutch. I don't like them. You know, there's times I try and leave my phone at home while I go off fishing, just so I don't get bugged. But yeah, I got it going. When I left it, it was right around 500 degrees in that smoker, and I piled some wood on top of it, so it should keep it going all night just fine. Hey, Kenneth, I found my hot cocoa, right? It was in one piece. After I lost it in the floorboard, it rolled up underneath my chair in my truck. When I stopped at a stop sign, it rolled out, and by the time I could even do anything, the phone was dead. So I couldn't show y'all. But I found it. It rolled and hit my foot. Yeah, it didn't even spill. It just like, I thought that was awesome. I got lucky. And what I didn't think about was when I did that stupid stunt, I had my fishing poles and everything, $80 fishing poles, sitting in the back of my truck with tires and stuff flying around, and I didn't break a single pole. Thank goodness. I'd be more upset than a daggum deal of hot cocoa. But yeah, I just figured I'd let y'all know that I am doing the ham tonight. It is smoking up a storm right now. I do have it in a pan of water to keep the bag going. I uh I put a ham out this morning to thaw, and it's mostly thawed. It's still a little bit frozen, but not bad. And I took my homemade wine that I make, and I injected it all through the meat. And nice, nice, nice. But then I added some seasoning on top of the ham, for like a little bit of a dry rub. Then I shoved it in a couple of paper bags and rolled it up real good and soaked it real well. And got it in a pan of water and put it inside my smoker, and so I can smoke it all night long. I gotta go out there every couple of hours and check it and make sure I can soak the bags back down on top. That way they don't burn and expose the ham. And hopefully it will. That meat should be falling off the bone good tomorrow. And I did add some extra seasoning inside my wine. I put brown sugar in there and stirred it up real good. So it'll give it that sweet wine, brown sugar taste. Just, ooh. Which, my wine sits right around about 100 proof, so it's gonna be yummy. My grandma might not like it too much, but I don't know. She might. you know, if I could get by with it, I would store a whole lot of wine in my garage. Probably not. I'll probably do cornbread with corn chunks and green beans in it. Now, I don't know if Ray went to bed. Yeah, I'll do some cornbread, but it's gonna be with like sweet rice, or not sweet rice. I said rice. The sweet corn. Not what is it called? Cream corn and green bean chunks. You're more than welcome. There's gonna be plenty. And might make some homemade mashed taters. If not, I'll probably smoke them as well. Why not? Roll them up in tinfoil, smoke them in the smoker. Which I cheat. Yeah, no one really has. I'm old school. I learned how to cook whenever I lived on the street, so I learned how to cook everything off a grill. I can make flapjacks on a grill. I can make biscuits. I can make anything you want on a grill. Just about. The only thing that's going to be hard is some beans. All right, Peppy. But yeah, I could do scrambled eggs. I could do flapjacks. I could do bacon. Just about anything you could think of under the sun to put on the barbecuer, and I could actually grill it. I do cooked butt chicken. You know, it's like beer butt chicken. The only things I use a Coke, and I glaze the chicken with honey. And when it starts spewing everywhere, spewing Coke everywhere, I set the chicken down. And then I'll turn on and glaze it again with honey, and I'll keep it going with the juices of the Coke and everything. By the time it's all said and done, it's sweet, it's tenderized, the meat. You go grab a chicken leg, and the bone comes out, and leaves the meat behind. And you stab it with a fork, and it just falls apart. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I was thinking about trying to go bow hunting this year for a boar. I really want to give it a shot. I got my compound bow, but I'd rather make my own recurve. That way I know where my sights are and how far I could go. This compound I got for Christmas, and it's just there's like no sights to it. There's nothing. It's just bare bone, and I want something. If I draw down and I know where I'm aiming at, it's going to hit. Shoot, most I can do is trap rabbit. And get rabbit for its fur during wintertime. That's about it. With the old man. What old man? You lost me there. I used to have a TV show with the old man. You know, if you like hunting shows, have you seen Ted Nugent's hunting show? The first and only time I ever watched that show, I thought, wait, Ted Nugent, that sounds familiar. I had no idea that he saw in Cat Scratch Fever. You know, I have no idea. I haven't seen it. I guess I missed that. You know, most I get is Netflix, but other than that, I have movies out the wazoo. I have VHS still. And, you know, I don't really do that much cable or satellite. But yeah, the only hunting show I saw was with Ted Nugent, and they went up to Canada to go hunt some moose with bows. And they're walking through thicket that's like way up here above the guy. And they could hear a bull walking around. You know, I laughed my ass off on that. That was just funny. You know, and it's nothing like the original. They tried following the storyline as much as possible, but their fears. The only one that I thought was creepy as heck on the fear part was the girl's bathroom of blood. But the rest of it, I was sitting there laughing. I was like, really? There's going to be like a disease-ridden dude with an elephant foot chasing a kid, and they got a guy that has like a rotten face and a woman with a crooked face. It's like, come on, you could have done better than this instead of making them look all like zombies. If I want to see zombies, I'd watch Zombieland. But yeah, you know, it was pretty good. And I like the fact that they did part one, and there's going to be a sequel to it apparently. So they're going to try to redo the second part too. Hopefully, it's better than the first one. But I like how they give Pennywise the beatdown. Yeah, I got Zombieland as well. Did you know that that was actually supposed to be a TV series? Oh yeah, I went way off base. ADHD. I can't focus. I was telling you about Ted Nugent. Um, but they ended up out in the field, and they could hear a bull, a big moose bull. You know, not that far from them. Yeah, I never even heard of that. Yeah, it sucks he dies. um, but the guy goes out there with his bow and arrow, and Ted Nugent and the other people are telling him, "Stop, stop, don't move, don't move." And all of a sudden, you hear this bull charging at the guy, and you see the guy fall backwards. As he falls backwards, he lets go of his arrow, his line. All right, thank you, Angel Eyes. You have a good night, sweet dreams. All right. Well, he falls backwards, and he's already got his bow drawn, and he lets go as he falls, and it shoots the bull moose straight through here, straight into the heart, and drops it right in front of his feet, which is like one in a million. One in a million shots, and Ted Nugent's like, "You are so lucky. So lucky." And yeah, you can see the shot after they turned on and everything calmed down. They went up, "Hey, Kentucky Hillbilly, how's it going?" I actually started smoking a ham. I got it all prepped up and in the smoker and going. I should be smoking all night long, and I got my camera turned on it so that way, with the wind blowing 30 miles an hour, it doesn't throw any coals anywhere and start a fire. I get in so much trouble for doing this during a fire ban. Oh wow, everybody left. Is it that bad? I got my truck washed today, so it's nice and clean. It looks way better than it did. And I rented 2 more movies tonight. I watched both of them already. Boo 2 with Madea. It was okay. It was funny. It was okay. Not a big woo woo. But the second one, I want to own it. It's called The Foreigner with Jackie Chan. And you want to talk about kick. Screw it. I'm saying it. I don't care what Facebook says or YouTube says. That was a kick-ass movie. From beginning to end, this dude whoops ass and keeps on whooping ass to the end. And when it's all said and done, he goes back to his job like nothing ever happened. So if y'all want to check out a movie that rocks, The Foreigner is pretty good. I liked it. Yeah, very much so. I'm almost anxious to see how much money I have in the bank tomorrow. If it's all wiped out, I'm keeping the movie. They're gonna have to charge me for it in full from Redbox next month. I want the movie. The Foreigner? Yeah, I like it. It's a good movie. My phone kept blowing up on me. I had to stop, rewind, watch it again. That was not a disappointing movie. I mean, if you think about it, there's one movie that it follows along with, and if you're a movie buff, you know, Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It follows along the same line. The only thing is the wife and child get killed over a bomb. It's all having to do with Colombian guerrillas and all that Arnold Schwarzenegger goes after. But this one here is a whole different deal. Yeah, I know. Jackie Chan, it's hard to believe he started out in all the way from China. He started out with his martial arts and getting into acting. And then he got into comedy acting with Sammo Hung. And then they started the series and the American series together. And when he started in America, he didn't even speak 2 words of English. And now look at him rock. He's he's going good. Whoa. Wow, man. Yeah, I don't know what's up with these people. What was some movies are meant to be left alone. Really. You know, if it was perfect the first time, just digitally remaster it. Don't change it. Leave it alone. You know, I mean, Herbie, and Herbie the Love Bug and all that. You know, I got the original movies down here, the whole Herbie series on VHS. Then you look at what they did with Lindsay Lohan, and it's like, come on, y'all like killed Herbie. I understand it's supposed to be the next generation going through it and all that, but you know, it's not Herbie. Then you turn around and look at what they did with the Three Stooges. That was perfect, you know? It looked like Larry, Curly, and Moe. And it was the same shenanigans. I liked it. Not a problem with it. But, see, I used to too. I loved the Three Stooges. You know, and when I was a kid, I could not figure out why Curly disappeared and Shep came in. Until later on when I found out that Curly had a heart attack. He died. But then again, he was an avid drinker and a smoker, and he was constantly going through depression. But you know, I like the Three Stooges, the remake. The Smurfs, come on, they goofed on the Smurfs. They ruined the Smurfs. The Smurfs are nothing like it was when I grew up. And you know, I wonder what's next. Are they going to do like Johnny Quest next? Because they done ruined that, turn it to Johnny Test. You don't have Haji and they're going Zim Zim Zalabim no more. But the Goonies, why touch the Goonies? Nice, nice. Luckily, you got that job, man, before you got fired. Seeing Poltergeist, they ruined that movie too. It's nothing like the original. Granted, the girl gets sucked into the closet, but other than that, it's nothing like the original. You don't have the creepy woman. Go into the light, Carol Ann. Yeah, I bet. But yeah, there's certain movies you do not touch. You shouldn't touch. You should leave alone. You know, it's like the whole Fast and Furious segment that's going on. How long down the road till they actually try to remake it? And everybody's going to say, wait a minute, it's not the same because you don't have Paul Walker. Well, you know, whoa. I mean, if it was good the first time, it is good now. Leave it alone. I give Disney some credit with the Star Wars saga. You know, when they took it over from uh, I got his face. I got his face right here. I just can't say his name. George Lucas. You know, they did good. I got no complaints. I haven't seen the new one yet. Still waiting for it to come out on Redbox. But the last one they did, I thought it was awesome. I got no complaints. I could have sworn George Lucas did it. But, you know, there's just so much stuff that's going on. And the fact that all these kids are now getting arrested for all these terroristic threats on schools, it's like, wow. You know, it makes you wonder. The Little Monsters remade. You're talking about with Savage. What was it? Something Savage. Fred Savage. where he goes into the. Yes. I don't want to see that remade. I think it's good the way it is. Fred did good on that one, you know? I like that one. Now, another one I don't mind them redoing is if they did the Munsters. I love the Munsters. But it's gonna be hard to find, you know, someone that can fit those roles. I think the only one that could actually pass as Lily is probably Angelina Jolie. There was another one too. Uh, you know, I'm gonna show my age here, but does anyone remember the Monster Squad, where a bunch of kids create a club called the Monster Squad, and they're supposed to fight against monsters? I don't. I'm. That might be a little too old for some people, but there's a part in that movie I like that. You know, it's funny as heck. You know, I don't know if Pappy's still here. I think he left. You know. You know. I could agree with you there, Hillbilly. I really can. You know, how many people do you hear about getting pulled over for smoking marijuana? How many? Very few. Because too many people are too stoned to get up to do anything. But then if you look at how many people are actually drinking and driving, well, you know, there's a lot more DWIs than there are all of that, you know, and it's sad. It's sad, you know, and they're all trying to fight the drug problem, but same time it's costing billions and billions of dollars. When it's really coming through South America and from Cuba. You know, you get your high grade cocaine from Cuba. Then you get the marijuana and all the rest of the shit that comes in from across all the rest of the world. And it's like, come on. You want to shut the shit down? Stop it from coming in. And they're like, well, how do you do that? 'Cause it's going to get here anyway. Well, they want it here. They're trying to make it look like they're doing their job, but they want it here. Because they're trying to figure out how to tax it. And if they could tax it, they can make a profit from it. I mean, look at Obamacare. You know, look at everything that's going on. They're trying to figure out ways to tax everything so they get a profit. Oh, you're lucky. I haven't seen Monster Squad since I was a kid. There's one scene in there that I love. I remember it dearly because it's so funny. The kid's like, what if I come across the Wolfman? You know, and goes, kick him in the balls. Well, the little kid comes across Wolfman. First thing he does is kicks him in the balls. You know, that kid's got some major cojones for doing that. But yeah, you know, the biggest problem in this country is the fact that we don't have the proper people in control of the government. The government is in control of the government. The people have no say no more. I mean, we have the right to vote, but our votes don't really even count. If you think about it. And it's really up to the people to overthrow the government. But the government isn't going to do that because they're going to turn around and do martial law which is ignorant. I mean, it was created for the people, by the people. And they're too daggum caught up in themselves, like this last government shutdown. You know, it's all because certain people were not going to make a profit off of Trump's idea whatsoever. So they boo-hooed because they wanted their money. Well, now they get to have their money, they're happy. And it's just like, you know, this whole deal with the assault rifles. You know, the assault rifle did not pick itself up and walk itself into a school and decide, hey, I want to jump in this kid's hand and start going off. You know, and it's not technically an assault rifle. It is a semi-automatic rifle to a fully auto rifle. There's nothing assault about it. It's just a rifle. Exactly. It's just a rifle. It's an Armalite rifle. There's no assault in there anywhere. It's just a derogatory word used to make it seem bad. But a gun does not make its way into school on accident. It does not show up there on its own. And, you know, like this last deal that happened with, I don't know if y'all caught it, but apparently a kid's parents were concerned, or something was concerned, to where a kid had a bunch of weapons, including bombs. And it got around that, you know, they were afraid this guy was going to do something bad, and, you know, they went after the parents as well. It's nice to see someone doing something right, you know. People are opening their eyes. They're catching this stuff before it happens. They're starting to see the flags and starting to create awareness over it. And a lot of people are saying that this flu is government made to depopulize the continent, the world. And, you know, I don't see that happening. It's just a strain that has been advanced, you know, it's mutated. It happens. Eventually we'll find a way to get rid of it. I mean, we got rid of the bubonic plague. Hello, written in blood. I am doing good today. Just sitting here shooting the breeze with family here. But, you know, I hate to see the fact that people are going gun control, when there's no need for, you know, throwing fear. If people were allowed to carry weapons like they did in the 1800s, and someone popped up with a rifle going to shoot somebody could shoot back. That's gun control. Exactly. See, if I had kids right now, my weapon be unloaded, and I actually have safes that I can use to hide my ammo and my gun will actually have a gun lock on it to keep individuals from trying to use it. And I don't mean about no cable gun lock going through the barrel, because you can take bolt cutters and cut that. I'm talking about a trigger lock. Exactly, written in blood, exactly. And, you know, I even heard about this guy that sold, you know, he was a dealer, I guess, and he sold that kid there in Florida the weapon, knowing that, you know, his profile stated, you know, he was mentally ill, he's got a record. You know, they should go after that guy too. He shouldn't get away with that. You know, the kid was 17, he's not 18 years old. He shouldn't have possessed a weapon in the first place, much less a whole arsenal. Yep, yep. See, and the safes I get are fingerprint embedded. That way, there's no chance of someone else getting into that safe but me. And that's the way I want it. That way, if I have to get in that sucker, I hit my thumb on it sensor and it opens up and I can get into my weapon real quick. And another thing is, if parents are going to have the AR-15s, these kind of automatic weapons, they should learn how to disable those weapons and take the firing pin out of the weapon. There you go. If it's harder to get access to, it's harder to do anything, and it deters them from trying to do it. Yep. See, I got my weapon right here. I respect it. I go out and I do target shooting, but I do not play with it. It is not a toy. It is a lethal weapon. And I am disabled. I am, on disability. I do have a mental illness. And these kids, the whole time the government's going, oh, he's a mental case. Go after the people that are mentally insane to keep them from getting weapons. I have full respect for this weapon. I know what it could do. You don't see me going out there and trying to shoot somebody. So they're trying to take away my right as well because I'm mentally handicapped. So I can't have a weapon either. Well, screw that part. I have the right to bear arms. So if they come to take my gun, I got the next best thing. What are they going to do? Take that from me because I stopped a home invasion? I protected myself? See, I went through this the gun safety in Florida to become armed and unarmed security. And I've also taken martial arts and all that. So, I can disarm a person if I have to. But I got old school blood in my veins. I don't run from a gun. One of my family members was idiotic while I was drinking one night. He pulled a gun on me. He cocked it back and pointed it right at me. And true story. This actually happened. He pointed right at me and I dropped my bottle and I stood up. I started calling him every book in the name or every name in the book. And I was walking to him until that gun hit right here. And I told him, you better shoot and hope like hell you kill me, because if you don't, I'm going to make you eat that sucker like it's chocolate. I didn't find out till later on that there's nothing in the weapon, but still, you don't pull a weapon on nobody. And I'm dumb enough to go towards the fire and not run from it. Because there's that fear that people have, that it's like control. Someone points a weapon at you, they expect you to, shake and shimmer and be scared. And when you turn around and start approaching them, then you turn that fear against them. Exactly. And one of the biggest rules is, I went shooting with a friend and he wanted to shoot my weapon. I passed it to him. He opens it up. He looks. He goes, "But it's not loaded." I say, "Exactly. You never pass somebody a loaded weapon. That's one big rule. You first one, treat a weapon as if it's always loaded. Number 2, never pass a loaded weapon to anyone. 3, your direction of safety, which is be it to the ground and away, or up in the air, and your finger is never on the trigger unless you are absolutely sure of your target and what's behind it. And I could hit a dime from 50 yards off with that pistol. But I actually want to get into hunting. I want to get me a hunting rifle and all that. And thanks to these idiots that are being classified mentally insane and all that and incompetent, possessing firearms, my rights are getting taken away. And I have had weapons throughout the years. I've had 380. I've had a 9mm. I've had a 410 shotgun. And I've never had any problems owning them and possessing them. I've never had a misfire. And I clean my weapons. And you go clean your weapon, you'll always make sure it's unloaded. Even if you think it's unloaded, you double check and make sure it's unloaded. Because accidents do happen. I mean, the people that don't need guns, if you ever seen there's a deal on YouTube. There's a video called Idiots with Guns. If you look up the video and watch it, those people don't need weapons. Got a guy with a daggum 30-30 holding it up like it's a pistol like this, and he fires it, it goes right back into his face. Busts his face open. A guy decides to look down into the barrel of his gun after he fires it, and nothing happens. He looks down the barrel, where as he goes to look down the barrel, it fires and goes straight up his hat. Who looks down a barrel of a loaded weapon? There's drunk people trying to shoot shotguns. A dude loses his pants and falls down and his gun goes off. Who's that? Who's going to have a hard time finding a woman? Talking about me? Yeah, tell me about it. Then he got, there's a girl that kept begging her boyfriend, let me shoot. She wanted to shoot his Desert Eagle. He kept telling her, no, it's too powerful for you. She kept begging. And eventually he gave in and said, okay, and he started filming. And he told her it's going to kick. She fired it, and the barrel came back right at her face. And she didn't want to shoot it no more. Thing is if he should have just kept on his guns. No, you ain't shooting it. Go buy your own, then shoot. I mean, and the bump stocks. Bump stocks. If you're going to go for full auto, I wouldn't use no bump stock. It's not hard to manufacture the piece that you need. that you need to go inside an AR-15 to make it full auto. And it's not hard to manufacture. It's easy to do, and you simply shorten the slide. And all it is a locking mechanism that slide is so long that it kicks back and locks into place and sets the hammer back, and it slides back forward. You shave that lock is gone, it'll come back, but it won't fire because the slide is too long. Shorten the slide, it actually falls back into place, and it'll actually But, if you're going to buy a weapon and turn it into an automatic weapon, it's easier to buy the automatic weapon and go through the process of owning the weapon. Because anything after you do it, the manufacturing and all that, if you do it yourself and something happens, you are liable for what you have done. I mean, it's like taking a a shotgun and sawing it down. You are liable. That's a federal crime. I do too. But honestly, I think it's time we actually go back to the 1800s. Wear a gun on your hip. If you got a problem with someone, you handle it in the street, and the business is done. You get rid of a lot of stupid people that way. But then you end up with the ones that are hired hands and all that crap. But it's still, the gunslingers earned respect. They got respect. But it was only the stupid ones that wanted to challenge them, the young idiots. Well, that's pretty much what's going on nowadays. You don't have no one putting a young kid in their place where like they're supposed to be. A lot of people are against spanking. Don't use a belt. Don't use your bare hand. It only takes one time. Bust that ass one good time. They learn. After a couple of whacks, they're done. Okay, I fall in line. Nobody spanks their kids no more. And the kids have free reign because they get no, the parents aren't teaching them respect, and they don't respect no one because they don't know about respect. But enough about all that, because I could go on and go on and go on. It just goes into one big old circle. Yeah, exactly. When I grew up, nothing was bad. You could, hey Ray. Exactly, exactly. And it's something you don't see no more. Back in the 1800s, when the dad was off on a drive or going to town and he was going to be gone for a few days to a few weeks, if the son was 8 years old, he handled a rifle and he went out doing the hunting and the gathering. He did the work around the house. But he had the respect of the weapon because he was brought up with the weapon. And you don't have that nowadays. You got Grand Theft Auto. They think, oh, bang, bang, fun, fun. It's a game. It's not a game. This is life or death. There's no respect. That's what I'm saying. It needs to go back to the old days where everybody carried a gun on their hip. When these young pumps step sideways and decide, hey, I'm a badass, I got a gun, settle it in the street, they're going to learn real quick. That's not how you do it. But personally, I can't shoot no one. I'd rather whip their ass. And there's a guy on here that I went off on because he's saying, yeah, 22 long rifle has very little kick. But, you still hit your squirrel, you can hit your rabbit, you can put some good game down, and if you get a good abundance, you gotta have a good meal. I mean, that's why I got his 22 long revolver. But I could hit a dime from 50 yards off with it. Granted, 50 yards away ain't gonna do much damage to someone, but any closer, I could hit right where I need to hit. But, I think we need to get back to disciplining our kids with strict discipline. I don't mean abuse. I'm talking about like straight up just old school discipline. Yeah. See, I can't shoot no one. I couldn't have the guilt of knowing I killed somebody on my hands. I can't do that. I don't think I could live with myself if I did that. But I'd whoop their ass, though. I'd whoop their ass and I'd take them out for a drink afterwards and tell them don't do it again. See, that's a no-no. Most people say use a belt. Use your hand. Because you could judge by your hand on how hard you're hitting the kid. All it takes is one good firm swat on the ass and they don't want no more. If they do, it's usually 2 or 3 times after that. But yeah, there's a guy on here that, was saying that, fat people can't survive in a street fight, and we would be too slow to pull our weapons if we need to. And I went off and said, you don't know what a big person can do in a fight or flight situation. Depending on the person's skill and how much they actually want to live, they could do whatever they need to do. And then the guy turned around and put it down in a combat scenario. I'm like, well, still. Sumo wrestlers are big people. They can move across the room pretty quick, and they know how to throw weight around real well. And he's like, well, I don't know the difference between combat and a sport. Well, the guy is apparently dense because he doesn't realize that sumo, the art of sumo, is not a sport. It was actually... It's actually a form of fighting. Exactly. If someone tries to tackle me, I could turn around and brace myself and be a brick wall. I know how to take someone's weapon away from them. I ain't worried about getting stabbed. I'll feel it later. The idea is to disarm and put down as quickly as possible without getting hurt. And I told this dude, I even called him out. I told him where I lived, called him out, and all he wanted to do is keep up arguing and just cussing me out, call me a lazy C word, and it's like, all right, man, you're just going to sit there, run your mouth like a little bitch, and I'm just going ahead and block you on YouTube and let you be about your way. He wasn't ballsy enough to take me on, and that just shows how much of a wuss he is. He's all mouth and no show. I've taken Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and Wing Chun. So, I know what I could do. I know what this fat man could do. My speed, I am pretty fast. Nice. My cousin's ex-husband was beating her one night, and I called him out. He come face to face with me, and he put his hand up. My hands were at my side. When he raised that hand up, said, "Let me tell you, I done knocked him on his ass." He was out cold. Knocked him out. Done. It took him 4 attempts to actually stand up properly. But I hit him so hard, so fast that no one else saw it coming. And everybody has their own fighting stance because it determines your stance is based on your speed and power. My hands usually stay right around my sides because I'm fast. I'm not slow. And if they're up in regular fighting stance, I move so fast I turn around and I move my hand in front of their punch, and I'll still get hit because my hands are too fast. I have to put them in a spot to where I can actually move. Heck yeah. Well, I did it because, I had bad anger issues. Real bad anger issues, and I was always mad. If I get mad, I'd punch a wall, put a hole through it. And I got into martial arts to focus myself and a way to bring my body together as well as calm my inner self. So it takes a lot to make me mad. It takes me a lot to get me riled. And there are certain people that know how to push my buttons just right, but one thing I can say is I'm 36 years old and I have not laid one hand on a woman. But I've put plenty of people down pretty quick. And pressure points don't work on me. They've been hit so many times that I'm numb to it. Well, I want to go ahead and get off here, and I will be back on here probably tomorrow evening to show you what this ham looks like. This is really what this was about. It was about ham, but it got off topic so bad. But yeah, I agree. One of the things that they teach us in martial arts is crucial points. And if I take a knife from someone and I feel like my life is in danger, and I have no choice, that's the only time I justify something that's bad. But I try to put down to where they can't get back up. At least they live, but they can't physically pick themselves up because of all the pain they're in. And I love punching the armpit. You know, right up in here. Where I said throwing a punch, hit that right there because it dislocates that shoulder so fast. Then you just kick their feet from underneath them and they can't get back up. I could take 6 people on at one time and be just fine. That to me is fun. My actual goal was to get into UFC, and I never got there. Oh, me too, me too. I gotta go out there and check on it here in a second to see if I need to re-soak the paper or not. But y'all have a good morning, good night, and I will definitely be back on here tomorrow evening when it's time for dinner, and I will show you this ham so we see how it looks. And I might even use a fork to stick in it and try to peel apart, see if it falls apart or not. Hopefully it falls apart and it's juicy. But thank you all so much for coming in and stopping by, saying hi. And, if Brian and JoJo is still alive, stop by their channel, say hi, and tell them I said hi. I'll be over there in a minute. If they're not on still, I missed them. But y'all have a good night. Whew, heartburn. And thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much for stopping by. I really do. And thank y'all so much for the thumbs up. Yeah, my hands are still black from the smoker. But, alright. I'm out. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.